Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is your daily Horoscope for April 7th, 2020 for the full moon in Libra, which will take place around 10:35 p.m. on the East Coast. And so this is a completion of this lunar cycle that started back with the new moon in Aries. And coming into this new moon in Aries, it was a very weird cycle. We saw the sun and the moon conjoined with Lilith and Chiron, which really was a start of the breakdown of the ego and bringing out these deeper feelings and insecurities from beneath the surface. And so starting out Aries season there a little bit weird with these deeper feelings and insecurities and wounds coming to the surface there, coming to the light. This brings us all the way to the end of this cycle here with this full moon in Libra. And so this moon now in Libra here to balance out the sun, which is sitting at the opposite in Aries, right? This is the full moon when we always have the sun and the moon opposite each other, where this is the completion of this whole cycle that started. And so with the moon here in Libra, there is a focus here on finding balance, finding the answers, finding the solutions, finding peace and harmony in your life, and coming to this point where everything is fair and equally balanced. And so coming off of that Aries new moon that started us off here, there really was this question of what are these deeper feelings and insecurities and wounds and fears here coming to the surface that need to be faced. And so as we come to this completion point, there is a choice here. As Libra is the balance scales, there's always a choice of which way we're going to tip the scales. And so there is a choice here that is being offered to you of whether we are moving towards this space of love and peace and fairness in our lives and really facing these fears, these deeper feelings, these insecurities, and coming up with answers. And especially Lilith here is very, very close to that sun. And so there is a big question of what are your desires? What are your deeper feelings? What is your darker nature, right? These fears, these insecurities, these things that we're hiding below the surface that need to be faced, need to be addressed. And that really brings us to this solution that this moon in Libra is trying to bring us to. And the moon is here in a conjunction with Juno, which is the asteroid which deals with marriage and commitment. And so there is something big to say here, how we are entering into this new space of relationships. This is something that we are seeing big time, and it really is coming down to this Venus in Gemini, which will go retrograde in May. So there's a lot going on here. Venus is going to remain in Gemini until July. It's going to go through this intense retrograde period. It's going to make a conjunction with the North Node in Gemini. So we also have the North Node. As you can see here, the North Node is at 2 degrees of Cancer now. So it's getting to that critical point where it is going to hit that 0 degree mark of Cancer. And that's it. That's the last call to deal with these North Node and Cancer lessons that destiny is calling for us before it goes ahead and shifts into Gemini, which is its exalted position. So the North Node is at its most powerful position in Gemini, where it has many lessons and many questions and more information and more that needs to be faced and addressed. And so this shift of the nodal axis entering into Gemini and Sagittarius, right? The north and south node are always opposite. So we're going to see the south node enter into Sagittarius as the north node enters into Gemini, which will be all about learning and facing this information and this lesson and experience that is coming to you in your life. And we're going to talk more about that in a future video, but know that this is a very important time frame here that we are entering into with the switch of the nodal axes. And we already saw this shift of this brand new reality with Saturn entering into Aquarius for the first time in 30 years. So we are really entering into this really new space that is centered around relationships, that is centered around unity and connection with all of the collective. And so really starting to move us away from these old systems and structures and foundations, right? And we saw the start of that when the North Node entered into Cancer, as the South Node was pushing us away from that Capricorn structure and foundation of the past that we've been in already. And it is moving us towards Cancer, towards home, towards connection, towards emotion, towards what is nurturing, what is healing, what is familiar. And so we're moving out of this old space of relying on structures and foundations and systems. And now we are really moving into this space of true connection, of relationships, of coming together in a space of unity. And so it is no coincidence that Juno is here sitting in this conjunction with the full moon in Libra, where this is very much tied and connected to your relationships with others, right? Romantic relationships, business partners, one-on-one relationships with others, your public life, your social life, your professional life, right? This is all about relationships, this full moon. And so we are coming into this space here where there is a big question of what you are choosing to do here. Are you going to remain in the past, in a space of fear, in a space of insecurities, of doubts, of not being able to fully connect or express these deeper feelings? Or are we moving into a space where we are connected, where we are sharing in a fair and balanced way, where we are expressing our love and our connection with one another? And so there's a calling here of really making a choice of which way are you going to balance the scales. Is this going to tip your scales towards fear, or is this going to tip the scales towards love? This is a big choice that needs to be made here within a lot of people out there in this place that we are in at the moment. Now, the moon is also making a major aspect over to Neptune. It is making a quincunx over to Neptune, where this can be a little bit of a challenge here to make this ultimate choice and decision of whether we're going to, once again, tip the scales towards love or tip the scales towards fear, as Neptune is in here. Neptune dealing with the subconscious, dealing with imagination, dealing with illusion, with dreams, right? Neptune coming through with this mystical energy, which can very much make us confused in this decision process that needs to be made here. And there is certain energy that Neptune is here to put out, to influence us, to inspire us to believe and hold faith and continue to dream and hold this space for divine connection and unity. However, the lower frequency of this is fear, is doubt, is illusion, is deception. And so there is a little bit of this confusion here of, are we going to be sort of caught up in this cloud and this illusion of fear, of delusion, of worry, of all of these negative influences, or are we going to choose to raise the frequency and trust in this higher power, in this higher connection? Now, this is also making an aspect over to Pluto, which is getting ready to station retrograde. So Pluto is here in this conjunction with Jupiter and with Pallas Athena, getting ready to come into this major space of this deep transformation within. And so with this energy here, Jupiter is with Pluto trying to help us grow and expand from this grand transformation, from this grand change deep within ourselves. And again, this is dependent on this choice that we are being given here with this moon in Libra of, are we going to allow our feelings to guide us towards fear or towards love? And so there is a major change that needs to be made here throughout the collective for many of you in choosing this Jupiter transformation of expanding the joy, the love, the positivity that is here to be admitted and to put out to others. And with Pallas Athena here, this asteroid of wisdom and strategy, it is here to say that this is the solution, that this is the way that we deal with the problem, with the difficulty at the moment, is utilizing this Jupiter and Pluto energy of transforming through optimism, through hope, through faith, through belief, right? Raising the frequency here with this full moon in Libra. So this is your ultimate choice. I did pull some cards for this as well. So starting off here, we have the second house owning, which was in reverse. We have Grand Cross Provoker, which is also in reverse. And we have Yod, Destiny, which is in reverse as well. Last card here is Taurus, I have. And so with this, there's a lot to say right now about what you are choosing, right? We're dealing with this second house energy of your values, of your morals, of your possessions. But big story here about your values and your morals at this time of, are we valuing what is beneficial to us, what can help raise the vibration, and what is positive to all of the collective? Or are we valuing something that is of fear, something that is, again, we saw this Grand Cross energy of the provoker. Are we valuing something that is actually provoking and making the situation worse, sitting in this space of fear and negativity, is that our destiny, our calling at this time, right? With this Yod energy, God is pointing the finger here. This is, for many of you who don't know about this Yod, this is a beautiful aspect that is made, that is referred to as the finger of God. And this is all about where we are being called towards, the destiny, where God is guiding us and leading us in the direction of. And we notice that this energy is in reverse. So many of us going in the opposite direction of where we're being called. We need to come into this space, Taurus, of being able to say that this is what I find worth in, this is what I value, that is beneficial to the collective, that is worthwhile, right? Taurus is an energy of investment. What are we willing to invest our time and our effort and our energy into? Is it something that is beneficial? Is it something that will stick, that will support us, something that we can depend on to uplift us for the greater good? So this is your horoscope for the full moon in Libra. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a thumbs up as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Feel free to join the group Astro Metaphysical Love and Light to share your positive messages, psychic messages, motivational advice, and any kind of wisdom or positivity you'd like to share. Go ahead and follow the group. Also, feel free to join the group Astrology Lessons with Daquan Jones to learn more about astrology with me. I want to thank you all once again for joining. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.